Starting your Locker natural hair journey is oh so rewarding, but can be extremely stressful when you start to consider what products to use. If that's you, then look no further. Locklicious is a Black-owned company that has created an all-natural product line for locked and loose natural crowns. The Locklicious team works hard to ensure that their products are free of parabens, phthalates, sulfates, PEG, synthetics, and other toxic chemicals you find in other products. Best of all, the products are lightweight and will not leave residue or cause buildup. Go to locklicious.com to start treating your crown like royalty.
What's up? Order in the court. How are you doing, African Diaspora? Today we're going to discuss some criminal cases, okay? There are a few people that have emailed me with a few good criminal questions, and so we're going to call the courts into order. Right now we're going to do that. Okay. Let's roll, guys. Legal question. If I was freed from jail for possession of less than an ounce of marijuana, what happens at court? I received a $500 PR bond and released early, but still have court on September 21st. My question is, do I need to hire someone to drop everything or not worry about that because one, it's my first offense, and second, the court freed me on the day from jail? Will I be doing community service or can I pay out of it? What should I do? Guys, order in the court. I'm going to let you know that you should always, I'm just going to say, on a personal level, I think that you probably should always hire an attorney. People don't understand the ways that things can, the different, how do I explain this? The different mechanisms that are involved in the legal field, especially when you're dealing with guilt or innocence on the criminal front, okay? Because it's a criminal court, I would just offer up to you, if you get a traffic ticket, you probably want to just hire a lawyer. Because when you represent yourself in court, you are held to the same expectations that a lawyer is held to. If you haven't been to law school, you haven't, practiced by doing other cases, it's hard for you to be able to understand all of those rules. It's hard for lawyers to understand all of the rules, guys. Okay? Lawyers learn sometimes what we call on the fly during a case, certain things. So I would hate for you to put yourself in a position where you are having to hold yourself to the high esteem of a lawyer. With that being said, just because they let you out of jail doesn't mean that they don't care about your case, guys. They let you out of jail because it was a rather small case, you have no criminal history, and they could issue you a PR bond, and they felt like that would be good enough. You would come and show at court. That's all a PR bond is. It's a personal recognizance bond where the court feels that, you know what, I can trust you to come to court. You don't need a bonding company to stay on your behind. I trust that you're going to come to court. Okay? And so when it's a small offense and you haven't had any criminal history, especially during times like this where there's a pandemic and they're trying to get as many people out of jail as they can, yes, you may be freed on the day. Okay, like this person is saying. It has nothing to do with guilt or innocence. So I say always hire an attorney. Next case. If I got a motion to adjudicate a sentence, do I still have a chance of being reinstated if I pay my payments and do my classes? I got a violation for catching another charge on my other county probation. And my out-of-county probation picked it up and sent me a letter for a motion to adjudicate this sentence. Guys, you already know when you're on deferred adjudication, it is not adjudication, it's a deferred adjudication. You're kind of on what's called like a little probationary period. And during that period, you're not supposed to get in trouble. You're not supposed to violate. You can violate by being in places that have low morals, such as clubs, gambling shacks, anywhere where crimes are committed. Anywhere where there is vicious and injurious behavior. You're not supposed to be a part of alcohol and drugs. So places where alcohol and drugs are sold, they want you to stay out of those places. They want you to just walk on a tightrope, okay, on some rollerblades. So just skate on a tightrope on some rollerblades for, the time that you're on probation. So this person picked up another charge, and they're saying that they were on two probations or deferred adjudications at the same time. Okay, and they picked up a new charge, and so the other person violated them. What they're trying to see is, do they have a better chance on the violation if they go ahead and pay their payments and do the classes? The problem with this particular case that I see is that there is more than just the classes and the payments that they're adjudicating you based on. It looks like they're adjudicating you or moving to adjudicate you based on the other charge. If you can't get rid of the other charge, then you still have a chance of being found as a violator, and they may send you to jail. They could possibly reinstate you depending on what type of charge that is, but more than likely they may send you to jail. Okay? So, sir or ma'am, you got to look at the motion to adjudicate and see everything that they allege that you've done. Okay? If you've done if those things are more than just the classes, okay, and more than just payments, then you got to deal with the other stuff on the list and fix that stuff, or prove you didn't do that stuff. Now, one thing I tell people is when you're on probation, it's a preponderance of the evidence. It's not beyond a reasonable doubt that you violated, and the judge hears the case because you're on their deferred adjudication, on their probation. So you need to get a lawyer, more than likely, and have somebody who is well-versed represent you in this, because you're looking at 3 or 4 violations, but you're only telling me about 2 that you're going to cure. I see an issue there. Okay? Doesn't mean you're going to go to jail. It just means you need some help. Go ahead and get that help so you can, get past this. Okay? Next case. And I want y'all to know, a lot of the times we do get on deferred. And if you get on deferred, you got to make sure you can do what's right for the time period that you're on deferred, because it can be used as a hanging mechanism, a hangman mechanism, whereby you take deferred adjudication to avoid jail time, but you can't keep it straight. And then you violate, and then it's automatic, possibly jail time, because the issue is whether or not you're guilty or innocent is never visited, because you pled guilty to get the deferred adjudication, or you pled no contest to get the deferred adjudication. So all the judge has to do is determine whether you violated, and they can sentence you off in the sentencing range for that case that you were on deferred for. Am I making sense? Just want to let you know that. Moving along. What should I expect to happen after police were called, arrived, and said I will receive a warrant out for my arrest? You should expect to get that warrant. Let me see what they're saying. I was stopped by a secret shopper hired by a store after exiting the store with $125 worth of merchandise. First thing you don't do is, you're talking to us and we don't know who you are, and we're not going to divulge who you are. But you never want to tell anybody that you walked out of the store. You just don't want to admit. You don't do that when you're charged. I was asked to follow the secret shopper to the back. Well, unless your lawyer tells you to. I was asked to follow a secret shopper to the back of the store office. There I was accused of shoplifting. I denied it. Good job. You denied it. Secret shopping took my driver's license information and told me I had to sign a no trespassing form for the store. While it was obvious Secret Service women was taking her time with the situation until police arrived. So I guess you're saying they were taking their time, trying to slow you down so the police could get there and arrest you. The police asked me my version of the story and said I would go to jail. Then after the police spoke privately to the woman, they decided that they were understaffed and I would not be going to jail that day, but to expect a warrant out for my arrest. I was then led by police out of the store, free to go to my car and drive away without a ticket. What should I expect next? This is a good question. Many of the times people have criminal cases that are filed on them and they are not arrested yet. You need to get a bonding company, more than likely, and or a lawyer to check for the charge for you to hit. Okay? When that charge hits, you need to make sure that you make bond on that charge and that you go to the court regarding the charge. Because what's going to happen is that warrant's going to be out for your arrest, and you don't want to be driving and get pulled over. Guys, I say this constantly. This is for the state of Texas, and this is for other jurisdictions. Times have changed. These police are getting smart, and they are no longer needing to run your license plate. These license plates run themselves. They are compatible with police equipment. They know who's in the vehicle because of who the vehicle is registered to. If you are in a vehicle that is registered to you, understand and know that they're running your plate. They don't have to physically type anything in. What happens is if there is a hit, meaning you have a warrant somewhere, you have no driver's license, you have no registration, you have no insurance, what's going to happen is that police officer is going to be alerted. And it's going to be up to that police officer as to whether they want to pull you over or just let you go because they're doing something else that has a heightened interest, or that is a more emergency situation. 9 times out of 10, guys, they will pull you over. So you always want to make sure that you're not riding dirty. If you think you have a warrant, reach out to a bonding company and a lawyer and get that situation handled. The bad thing about having a warrant is getting caught off guard. You may be on your way to work. You may be on your way somewhere, and then they may arrest you. When you can determine and have complete control over when you may go to jail, over whether or not you may to go to jail, over when you're going to speak to the judge, if you just approach the situation yourself. So I want everyone to know that don't be afraid and run from the law when you have little issues like this. This is a shoplifting case. Get it handled and taken care of, and don't let it hang over your head, okay? And don't ride around in the car with that warrant. You need to get on top of that and handle that situation as soon as that warrant comes out. We're going to pray that that warrant does not hit. But if it does, just be ready. There are clients who have me on retainer just in case. Okay, they've shot somebody. They don't know if it's going to come back to them. They hire me, and we're waiting just in case. I'm counseling them and assisting them with the pre-litigation phase, okay? And you're welcome to do that. You guys have a fantastic day. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, booker@bookerlawfirm.com. Add me on Facebook, Allie Booker. Add me on Instagram, she_your_lawyer. Okay. Also, guys, I'm going to be working on my Twitter page. I do have a Twitter. It's Allie B. Okay. Allie B. Okay. Y'all have a fantastic day. African Diaspora. And I look forward to speaking with you guys soon. Have a nice day. Bye.
Diary of Dark One's Son is a look into the thoughts, opinions, and experiences of a young black man who is wrestling with the tough task of trying to make something out of himself in a very racist and hateful environment. It covers in detail the thoughts of a man as he observes and eventually learns how to cope and deal with the world around him. It is a story of a man who, while beset with many obstacles, learns how to overcome them in order to accomplish his goals and aspirations. This book is not for the faint of heart, and the opinions that are shared in this book can be deemed very offensive to some readers. If you think that you will be offended by the opinions shared in this book, the answer is simple. This is not the book for you. This book is merely the opinions of one man, and it should be taken as such. However, if you really wish to gain insight into the thoughts of a young black male in today's society, then look no further. Read this book. Excerpt from the book. From the chapter, Am I Visible or What? One day when I was walking home from school, I came across this other brother who was walking my way. In his eyes, I could see the sadness, the same sadness that was in mine. I knew exactly what was going through his mind too. He was feeling like an absolute nobody. How did I know, you ask? Because I was feeling the same way at the moment right when I walked past him. Have you ever felt, if you are a black man reading this, that you were invisible to the world? Not because you want to be, but because people refuse to acknowledge your presence. Read more when you purchase this book. This book can be purchased from lulu.com.
Hello, everyone. Please make sure you subscribe to the African Diaspora News Channel app on these platforms.